You've been arrested by the police. You can call any fictional lawyer character you want as your attorney. Who do you call? Uncle Phil. Jazz, you can put your hands down. He got a gun. If I put my hands down now I got 6 warning shots in my back. First things first, rest in peace Uncle Phil, for real. You the only father that I ever knew. Uncle Phil was the only father figure I've known. I was heartbroken when I learned he passed. For real, you the only father that I ever knew. My cousin Vinny. What is a yute? Oh excuse me, your honor. 2 youth ah. God, that part is so fucking funny. The whole movie is a gem, I think, because of how good everyone's screen chemistry was. The casting alone deserved an Oscar. Elwoods. Happy people just don't kill their husbands. I didn't even think of this, and I am so disappointed in myself. She was great in law school. By now, with tons of experience under her belt, she'd be my top pick. I want Bob Loblaw to drop a Bob Loblaw law bomb. Have you read the Bob Loblaw law blog? That's a low blow, blah blah. Don't talk nonsense to Bob Loblaw. You don't need another lawyer full of blah blah blah, you need Bob Loblaw. Perry Mason. He only ever lost 1 case. This really is the only right answer if you're actually in trouble. Not only will he save your bacon and find the real culprit as well as their motive, but you'll have the pleasure of hearing him do it in the smoothest of baritones. But what if I'm guilty? Perry Mason's clients are almost never guilty, for some reason. Try Saul Goodman. I assume that Mason is an excellent judge of character. He turns down the guilty clients. Vincent LaGuardia, Vinnie Gambini. Even if I go down I get to meet Marissa Tomei. Surely you mean Jerry Gallo. Edit. Jerry. Geez, it's been a while. Jerry Gallo? Jerry Gallo's dead. I'm aware of that. I'm Jerry Callo. C-A-L-L-O. But you can continue to call me Gambini. Charlie Kelly, of course. I want the best expert on bird law in the world on my case. They will get Jack Kelly to counter you. You don't stand a chance. Have you seen the size of his hands? Nobody look. Nobody look. Do you mind if you put your hands on top of my hands so they look like they're mine? Alan Shore and Denny Crane. Edit. Thank you for the awards. I have an erection. That's a good sign. I'm ready to go to trial. Lock and load. Denny Crane. Denny Crane. Legally not gay. Pop goes the weasel. Matt Murdock for sure. Nelson and Murdock for sure. Edit. Holy shit, first silver for this comment, thank you. Avocados at law. This was one of my favorite parts of the show. Made them feel more human. Well, they are human. However, Matt's zombie ex-girlfriend is notably not a human. Lionel Hutz. So we can have a celebratory belt of scotch at 9:30 in the morning. Edit. Okay, I realize the accurate quote is 9:30 in the morning, thanks for pointing it out. He's argued in front of every judge in Springfield, some of them as a lawyer. He's had it in for me ever since I accidentally ran over his dog. But replace the word accidentally with repeatedly and dog with son. The brownest of the brown liquors. I've heard Matlock is a good choice. For 10 grand, he'll actually sit behind you in court and read the paper. For $15,000, he'll actually sit at the defense table. For $20,000, he'll twice lean forward and whisper something in your ear. You can't argue with that kind of value. I have the worst fucking attorneys. They can't arrest a husband and wife for the same crime. Can I get a discount if I just want the whispering? Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Man lost some brain cells watching that back in the day. Thank for the awards, guys. Did you get that thing I sent you? This is easily my most used reference that is missed by 100% of everyone. I work in a corporate office environment and use this quote 6 times a day. And no one gets it. No one. It's difficult though because it's kind of non-specific, so even if someone said it to me, I'd hesitate to respond because I wouldn't know if they in fact were quoting it or not. Analyze Keating, obviously. She is messy AF, but gets the job done. Also might inadvertently kill you. Pull up. She never actually killed anyone. Is that a bad thing? I see this as an absolute win. Atticus Finch. This is way too far down. Doesn't rely on any gamesmanship or fancy tricks, doesn't try to cheat the system, just strives for justice. But what if I'm guilty? I don't want justice, I want courtroom shenanigans to help me escape justice. Even if I'm innocent, I don't want what passes for justice. I want whatever courtroom shenanigans get me out of the ordeal. The hyper chicken lawyer from Futurama. Edit. Thanks for the award. Now, I may be just a simple hyper chicken. Bucock. I'm sorry, I thought you was corn. Don't mind if I cock-a-doodle-doo. Jeff Winger from Community. He was actually a good lawyer, plus maybe I could get to be on Troy and to bed in the morning to discuss the case. Honestly, he was one of the best, but just didn't have the paper that said he was legally allowed to be the best. I thought you had a degree from Georgia. And now I need one from America. Columbia, actually. But I give it a B+ because it still works. Fletcher from Liar Liar. Fletcher. Your Honor, I object. Judge. Why? Fletcher? Because it's devastating to my case. Judge. Overruled. Fletcher. Good call. No lie, Liar Liar is the movie that made me want to go to law school. Edit. For anyone else asking, yes, I went to law school and became an attorney. It's not as fun as the movie, but I love it. I work in compliance, not litigation, but I've done litigation before. Single female lawyer. Since female lawyer, being self-reliant, wearing miniskirts, and helping out her client. Hey, I'm pretty good. Every time Bender says single female lawyer, having lots of sex, I die laughing. It took me an hour to write, I thought it would take an hour to read. This still makes me laugh my ass off. Harvey Specter. Edit. Thanks for the awards, guys. These are my first ones. Damn right. Harvey goddamn Specter. Now get the hell out of my office. What did you just say to me? But you didn't come all the way down here just to say that. So what brings you here? 1000%. Harvey just gets shit done however necessary. Bonus points if you get Mike on the team. I knew a guy who had the same memory mutant ability in high school, but I didn't believe him, so I showed him the UPC code from some bag of chips, and he looked at it and said it was memorized, so I put it in my wallet, and for the next few years at random times, I'd take it out when I saw him wherever, and he'd say each number exactly right. I'd love to bump into him now and see if he still has it, but of course I don't have the UPC code anymore, and he's probably mega rich and successful and married and happy. Hate that guy. There's an episode of House with a woman like that. She worked as a waitress because while she could remember everything she'd ever seen or heard, didn't mean she understood it. Damn, that must be frustrating. Jennifer Susan Walters, aka She-Hulk. Private attorney, adventurer, formerly bounty hunter, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, actress, mind slave, magister of the Living Tribunal, NYC assistant district attorney. Law degree from UCLA University of California, Los Angeles. Way to just ignore her ties to the Fantastic Four. And the Avengers. Didn't she get kicked out of the Avengers mansion for partying too much? Canon BTW. South Park's version of Johnnie Cochran. I scrolled down way too far to find this response. That does not make sense. Only if he's allowed to use the Chewbacca defense. Johnnie Cochran himself could save you, hell he saved OJ, and he murdered 2 people. That does not make sense. Gordon Bombay. People forget before he was the greatest Pee-wee hockey coach of all time, he was the sleaziest defense attorney in Minnesota. You really stooped to an all-time low on this one, Bombay. I'm insulted by that, Frank, you have no idea how low I can stoop. This is the best answer and no one else is saying it. Mighty Ducks is the tragic story about how a lawyer with a 30-0 record threw it away for some dumb kids in morality. Cake eater. Barry Zuckerkern. He's very good. You have the worst fucking attorneys. BZ. Are you one of those silly men who dress like a woman? Prostitute? No, I'm the real thing, baby. BZ. Drives away. Ha 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 ha. Narrator. He isn't. Phoenix Wright. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver. Is he going to flail and bluff and make a fool out of both of us? You bet your biscuit. Is he going to make me question the wisdom of ever having been born as the entire courtroom looks on, concerned at his antics? It's a guarantee, my friend. Am I going to be embarrassed for the rest of my life? As sure as vampires are scared of the sun. But is Phoenix Wright going to find the truth, identify the real culprit, get me a not guilty verdict, and possibly solve all my interpersonal issues while he does? Of course. In a kangaroo court, he can not only prove someone innocent, he can also track down the real culprit. He has an extremely good track record for such an incredibly rigged criminal justice system. Better call Saul. I don't need a criminal lawyer. I need a criminal lawyer. Chuck disagrees, lol, fuck Chuck. I guess he was already completely fucked up, made lol. No need to even face the police again. Saul will arrange for a van to pick me up so I can just disappear. Now that's a good lawyer. I would like to order the dust filter for a Hoover Max Extract 60 Pressure Pro. You're $5K short. You are going to jack me up over a measly $5,000? It was $1,800. But who's counting? Alicia Florek. Already put it out, but to who all they go when things get complicated. Elsbeth Tishini. Lewis Canning, the lawyer played by Michael J. Fox in The Good Wife. Arguably the most devious lawyer in the series. Though I agree that Alicia would be much nicer person. Didn't Alicia pretty much beat him every time though? She did, and when you hire her you get Negan as your PI. Negan and Lucy get shit done. IRC there were at least a couple of occasions where she beat him in court, but he still ended up better off either because the settlement was lower than the worst case figure his client was prepared to pay, or because it set a precedent for another larger suit. I can't remember, does he ever represent criminal cases? I only remember the settlement stuff. I fucking cried a manly cry when Will died. Those kinder shows never kills of a main character, so it was a huge shock and very unexpected when they did. It hit hard, man. Olivia Pope could probably save my ass in any situation. OMG. Why did I have to scroll so far to see Olivia Pope? Olivia Pope and her crew would be my first call. Seriously. She would handle it no problem. And look fine AF while doing it. It's handled. You had to scroll so far down because she's not a lawyer IRC. She's a fixer. But she could probably find you a good lawyer. Tom Hagen. He operates an exclusive practice with only one client. How do you know I'm not part of that client's family? Or a friend? I suppose a member of a wealthy Italian mob family could while away a few hours on Reddit every once in a while answering questions on AskReddit under the name of Choc Frog Addict. How do you know a member of an Italian mom family isn't addicted to chocolate frogs? Chocolate is delicious. Beta Barba from Law and Order SVU is the only answer as far as I'm concerned. I'm mad I had to scroll this far to find Rafael Barba on here. He'll win your case and look fly as hell while he does it. I was doing the same thing. Yes. I've said this so many times to so many people. The best part of SVU for me for a long while was watching Barba in court doing his thing in a bespoke suit. Rafael Barba is the best attorney SVU ever had. White TF, no one is saying John Milton, aka the devil himself played by Al Pacino. That's fucking devil we're talking about. You can kill a judge in front of the jury and win the case. He knew himself would have been a good choice. Would have been a far better choice since he'd be willing to defend an innocent client and wouldn't eat your fucking soul afterwards. As long as you're guilty. They only take guilty clients. And it only cost your eternal soul. SD lever. Grognak the Destroyer, attorney at law. This should be far higher on the list. Everyone needs an attorney who can stomp villages with their gorgeous high heels if need be. That's how you know you've got a dedicated attorney on your side. I was searching for this, I finally found it. Same, I commented the same thing thinking it wasn't commented before. Yes, I was wrong. More like Bor Ragnarok. George from Blackadder. George. Captain, leaving aside the incident in question, would you think of Captain Blackadder as the sort of man that would usually ignore orders? Darling? Yes, I would. George. You sure? I was rather banking on you saying no. Not Bob Massing Bird, the person George was replacing? Famous for the case of the bloody knife? A man was found next to a murdered body. He had the knife in his hand, 13 witnesses had seen him stab the victim, and when the police arrived he said, "I'm glad I killed the bastard." Massing Bird not only got him off, he got him knighted in the New Year's honors list, and the relatives of the victim had to pay to have the blood washed out of his jacket.
Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Tell me what you dislike or love about this video, so please comment below and hit the bell icon so you're notified anytime a new video is released. This is a WeCrow Media production.